Hey guys, it's Alex. I just want to go over everything about CEO that just recently happened about 10 days ago now. Had to catch up on a lot before I can get to talking about the whole event. First off, I just want to say thank you guys for making it such a huge success. A year ago, nobody thought it'd be possible to bring over 800 people to Florida for a fighting game tournament, and we all did it together. So for that, I'm grateful. It leads the way for bigger and better things to come. I'm excited to see how next year turns out. So I just want to, recap my thoughts on everything about the event and go over mistakes I felt I made, ways we can improve stuff for next year, and just talk about the whole event. So for everybody that came out, you had a great time. I got a lot of feedback. It means the world to me to have a lot of people that came up to me over the weekend saying it was one of their favorite conventions or favorite gaming weekends of their lives, which that's amazing to hear that, and I really appreciated that, and for that it makes me want to grow this even bigger and make things even better for you guys. So there were a lot of first timers. A lot of people never came out to gaming tournaments. They must have probably found out through all the promoting, all the online streams. It's just amazing how quickly the fighting game community has come together this year. And I was blown away by it. My entire staff was blown away by it. I think the entire community was just blown away by the numbers that we had at this event. We had over 300 entrants for Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, had 285 for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We can thank all that to Evo Series, all the other tournaments, Team Spooky streaming all the other events, but just for everybody to come down to Orlando, Florida for a first-year major and first time and make it such a success, even I'm still looking back and wondering how it was possible. So we made it through the weekend. There's a few things, timing issues, as most tournaments have. I think what caused a little bit of delay in starting some of the later pools was the fact that we had a lot of late signups on Friday, a situation I hope to correct for next year by bumping up the price from $40 to $50 for people that decide to wait till the very last second to limit it. Good news is I'm not going to be raising any prices. Everything's going to be the same. I'm going to still be doing a bunch of promoting for CEO 2012 once everything's set. So I'm going to be doing, book a couple nights at the hotel. A lot less of a time frame to do it, but now that everyone's been to the event, came out, they can trust CEO, they can trust Florida again for having a major. So you don't have to worry about that, and I just want to keep promoting and bring people together, and I feel this community is probably the strongest gaming community out there. Just to see the smiles on people's faces all weekend made me happy, and I barely slept that whole weekend, but it was worth every minute of it just to see that crowd reactions, as most of you have seen in the recap video, which we have a lot more stuff coming. We documented pretty much everything from that entire weekend. There's a lot to cover. So we went through Arcade Edition and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Mortal Kombat had a pretty big turnout. 122 people entered that. A lot of people think Mortal Kombat's going to die down after Evolution. I think it's a great game. I think it's a lot of fun. But to NetherRealm, if you keep patching it and changing characters around, you're going to really, offend some people that like a character and then have to learn that character over again. So hopefully they patch out all the, glitches and stuff, but they stop messing around with actual character nerfs and buffs. Because in the long run, that's really going to hurt the game, and I'd like to see the game grow. I'm going to continue to support it. So that was Mortal Kombat. Arcade Edition, as everyone knows, is only a couple days old at CEO. But I think that actually created an even bigger turnout because people wanted to see how it went. And what do you know? Yoon didn't win. The final 3 people were people that have been using the same character since Vanilla. Dalsum for Arturo Sanchez, Tokido won with his Akuma, Mike Ross went all the way through losers brackets, come up and get third with his E Honda. So it was great for a lot of people to see that the twins didn't dominate, even though it was an early tournament. And who knows how Evolution's going to go, but you should still practice that for the twins. But I was really excited to see all the high level play for Arcade Edition. Now for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, congratulations to Tokido from Japan for winning. I don't play the game much. I think it's a very fun game. There's lots that needs to be fixed about it, especially Phoenix. But I think it was an awakening for all the Americans to realize that other people can be good at this game too. Japan has a fighting chance in this game. So I'm glad Tokido came out and showed Justin Wong and all the other top players that are going to EVO that they need to prepare themselves for anything. So it was a good awakening for that. And, you know, CEO had the dominating competition that weekend for Marvel, had the best competitors from all over coming to Marvel. So those were the three main games. Tekken had an amazing turnout, had 62 entrants, which is great, you know, for a couple-year-old game. Having Harada-san and Michael Murray, the designer and producer of the Tekken series, at the event was surreal for me. I saw a lot of people coming up to me, so happy that they were there. You know, everyone got to take pictures. Harada and Michael enjoyed the finals. They hung out with us at the CEO official pool party we had Saturday night. I mean, just how amazing is that we got to party with those guys, you know, late into the night after Saturday was done. And they enjoyed it. They also, you know, stuck around for Sunday to give out the awards and prizes. We're going to be getting up pictures of that soon in video for Namco. You know, they even watched the King of Chinatown movie, which, by the way, if you're a fan of this community, you have to watch that movie as soon as it comes out. I believe it's July 12th it comes out. They just found a distributor by Future Psycho Crusher Productions. I thought it was a great film. It was enjoyable to watch it with the community. We had about 300 people watch it on Sunday morning. The Q&A was awesome. Everyone got some good questions answered by Triforce, Justin, and Calvin, the producer. And, you know, just have Harada ask Justin Wong at the very end, you know, Justin, why don't you play Tekken? It was priceless to me and a lot of other people. So that was great. You know, Soul Calibur 4, they had about 26 entrants for Soul Calibur 4, but they had the best players that were there, and then they attended CEO. I actually enjoyed watching the finals. I think it's a very great game to watch. I'm super excited for Soul Calibur 5. If it's out before CEO 2012, you can definitely count on that game. As of now, I had a lot of games this year. I had Smash Brothers, which had a decent turnout, which I hate to say I will not be having Smash Brothers next year for various reasons, but I want to keep up to date with the latest and greatest fighting games. And with such a huge turnout this year, had over 850 people, including spectator badges, sold at this event. Last year only had about 350. So to have an increase of 500 people, who knows how CEO 2012 is going to be. So my goal is to streamline it, you know, kind of like Evolution does, and pick 5 or 6 official games and stick with it. Any other games that people ask for, you know, it's just going to be on a popularity thing. As for my predictions now, it's going to be, you know, Arcade Edition again, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Tekken Tag 2 will be a great addition if it's out, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Soul Calibur 5. Then, you know, the other games that might have to do a vote for, like King of Fighters 13, that should be out on consoles by then. Third Strike Online is going to be coming back out. I think that could have a great tournament again. So, you know, we'll talk about it when it gets to that. As everyone knows, I'm taking a little break from the events and such until after EVO. Want to enjoy EVO as a player, and if you haven't booked EVO, guys, and you have the means to do it, CEO is just a preview of the hype and excitement you can have, you know, at EVO, which will have quadruple the numbers that CEO had, and it's just so much fun to be out there. So if you can make it out to Vegas, July 29th to August 1st, definitely attend Evolution 2011 if you can. After that, my next big event will be CEO at EXPCon in St. Augustine. Once EVO's done, I'm going to be going full blast with all the information on that event for everyone that is interested in attending. It's a great convention. There's about 5,000 people that attend every year. I'm in charge of the entire game room, so I'll be the one running all the tournaments, just like CEO, so that should have a fun turnout. Anybody who attended last year had a great time, and I look forward to it again. You know, before I get on to a lot of questions I had people ask me before I did this last video about CEO, I just want to thank everybody so much for coming out and my amazing staff. You know, a lot of people, it was their first time helping out with a gaming event. I tried to do too much on my own, and I will definitely fix that for next year and delegate a lot of stuff so things get run more smoothly. There are a lot of DQs for people not being able to be found. That's going to be fixed for next year, so that won't happen again, because I don't want to disappoint anybody. So there'll be definitely, you know, more microphones, easier way of contacting people. The Google document sheet I used for pools was a great idea in theory, and it worked perfectly until the event day came and I had over 100 late registers, and I had to add them in and then switch a few people from pools to even out the pools. And we were unable to update the actual spreadsheet again. So for next year, I'm definitely sticking to having everything set before CEO even begins for pools, and then adding in until all spots are full for the buys. So that'll fix that situation. A lot of things I can improve on for next year that I look forward to, and I listen to everyone's feedback. I read everything. I pay attention to the whole community. But there weren't too many complaints, and that feels really good. And I feel there's a lot of things I can improve for next year, but nobody really complained, and that was the best feeling, just to know that everyone had a great time regardless of, a couple of the team tournaments didn't get to finish, so we did split pots on the top 3 teams because we couldn't do the finals, stuff like that. So as everyone knows, I'm already talking with the event, the Wyndham. I would like to do the event again for CO 2012 at the same hotel in the same grand ballroom. We fit over 800 people this year. That room can fit up to 2,000 people comfortably. So I'll worry about if we can pass that number in about 2-3 years from now. So I'm talking out with the Wyndham. The dates are going to be, as of now, June 15th to 17th, which will be 10 days after E3 this year. This year I chose the E3 weekend, assuming nothing else would be going on, and a lot of players can't go to E3. With the turnout, obviously it worked out in my favor, but we had competition from another event the same weekend, Revelations, as everyone knows. I have a lot of feelings on that I could never really talk about leading up to the event. I heard the event went well, so I'm very happy for that. But I'm even happier that, personally, it was the 3rd time that the Tournament Legacy team did an event the same weekend as a Florida event. The first 2 times I wasn't involved in the Florida events, but they had way bigger numbers. It took away all the attention from Florida. This year we tripled all their numbers on all their game entrants. AE for them had about 108, which they haven't disclosed, but I know. Marvel only had about 90 entrants for that. And we had over, like I said, 286 for Marvel, over 300 for AE. So that made me feel so proud that, even after all the headache I had going through trying to get Daigo to come out, other big names, we got the community to come out. And that's what means more to me than any big name, aside from everyone that was able to attend. I would love to have Daigo next year. I definitely know that they're going to be interested next year because of how well CEO went this year. He was already out there for Revelations, for the big money pot. But, advice to any future organizer, this community is a loving community. You can't just throw out money to them and expect them to come. If you don't build it within the community from the ground up, your event's not going to get the turnout you're hoping for. Anybody that wants to get involved in this, guys, it's not easy work. I sacrificed 8 months of my life of dedication to promoting and meeting everybody and interacting, and it paid off. And I'm really happy for that. I'm glad Revelations went well and everything. So next year, Revelations, if you want E3 weekend, you can have it this time. Because I'm going to stay away from it just so that way we can get more vendors out from the fighting game community, which I'll get into with a couple of the questions I had asked. So again, just to recap, I'm so happy with how everything turned out. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. I finally got to catch all the archives. James Chen, Yipes, Spooky, you guys did an amazing job streaming the event to the world. Had about 18,000 viewers during finals on Sunday at the same time, which is huge. The fighting game community is just steadily growing. This year it's been blowing up. I'm just excited to see where it goes. So with all that said, I'm very happy. I'm going to be posting up all full results on ceogaming.org this week. I have a lot of brackets to manually write out and results, so I'm definitely going to take care of that. I'm going to get to a couple questions I had from friends on Facebook and Twitter. First off, Joshua asked, for CO 2013, he's getting ahead of himself. Will I use the Wyndham venue again? Do I have any plans to find a bigger venue? As of now, the Wyndham is a perfect location. Everybody had a blast. I mean, it has a 24-hour pool that has room for about 500 people around it. You can't beat that. I don't know any other hotel that would allow that and not kick us out. So we had a great venue. It was a great location. Everyone enjoyed going to all the different restaurants around it. It was easy access to stuff. So as long as I can stay at the Wyndham and it can fit everybody, I'm definitely going to stay there. What else? Questions about our pool is going to be run better. A lot of judges, where it was their first time running, they couldn't project their voice. That's a mistake I take full responsibility for. Having the pulls up to like the speakers from the main system kind of hindered that. Next year, I plan to have the white marker